All right, welcome again to our third part of this video or the video series on advanced data visualizations. In this part, we will be talking about how to rename columns of a data frame. Now, in Python, it's actually a good practice to label your columns in a way that conforms to the PEP8, that is the PEP8 naming standards. So there are some naming standards in the PEP8 documentation. You can just search for PEP8 in Google, and you see from the Google search engine you get a lot of Python what's it called now, a lot of Python standard or a lot of ways of doing things in a standard manner in Python. So for example, one of the standard for naming your columns should be that there shouldn't be space in the name. So if you look at our data sets, you would notice that we have a particular column name called preferred positions with this space in between. Now we would like to change this column name from preferred space positions to preferred underscore positions. And the line of code that would achieve that is this very code, which is soccer.rename. Type soccer.rename. That's a rename method in a data frame which allows you to give it an input as a dictionary, a key value pair. So the key will be the existing name, while the value will be the name you want to use to replace the existing name. So if you have multiple columns that you intend to change their column names, you can go ahead and list those columns as the key value pairs in the dictionary. And if you don't know the exact columns that are in the data frame that you'd like to replace their names, then you can actually use a programmatic way and instruct Python to go through the data frame and look through the dictionary, the column names. If it finds any column with a space, it should replace that column with an underscore, replace the space with an underscore. You can actually do that programmatically. Maybe in a future video, I would cite an example like that, and let's show you how to achieve that, because that is one kind of skill you need to have as a Python programmer. All right, so with this line of code, we'll be able to rename the column name called preferred positions to preferred underscore positions. Let's do that and run the code to see the head. When we scroll down to the last column, you can see now we have preferred underscore positions. We've replaced that column name to preferred underscore position. So it's that simple. When you go to the previous output of our data sets, you see here we have preferred positions. So there's a white space between the preferred and positions, which is not a standard way of naming your columns. And with this line of code, we have renamed that column to preferred underscore positions. Let's continue with working with data types. There are various data types in Python, and we can switch or change from one data type to another. All right, let's just go on to see how to achieve that. Now, to change from non-numeric categorical data to in data frame, we first use .select d types, and there is an include or exclude attribute of the d type, select d type in Python, to find what type of data is that particular column stored in. So when we call this code, when we write this code, select soccer.select d types include objects.head, it means please just select the data type for all the columns whose d type or data type is object, and then we'll print the head. Let's run this code to see. So right now we have 1, 2, 3. These are the 3 columns whose data type is object. Yeah, these are the 3 columns whose data type is object. Now, in some cases, it might benefit our analysis to change the data types in our data frame, such as converting integer to a float. The code below enables you to do that. Let's take age, generally expressed as integer, and convert it to float using the as type method, as type function. So you can have this as, you can see we have the age. First, before we convert it to float, I would like us to explore again to see the data type of each of the columns in our data set. So I'm going to call soccer.info. Remember, with soccer.info method we get the data type. So as you can see right here, the age column is in float, is a float object already. So what are we trying to convert it to? Are we trying to convert it to float or integer? So it's already a float object. Yeah, so then converting it to a float again wouldn't make any difference. But since it's already a float object or float data type, let's convert it to int. Let's convert it to int. So I'm converting the soccer age, soccer, I'm saying soccer, I'm selecting the age column in the soccer data frame, and I'm replacing that with the age column of the soccer data frame, but this time around I'm converting the data type as int because it's already a float, right? Just from what we can see here. So let's run this code and then display the data type of the soccer column again. Right now you can see now that we've converted it from float to int because it has given us the data type of that column as int32 or int32. But to convince you that that has been converted, I will display the info of the entire data set again, so we can see so here is it. Every other thing remains the same, but the age column has been converted from float, which was the initial column, to int. All right, so great. Now that is how to convert. They just use your as type to convert the data type of any column in a data frame to the desired column. Yes, so that is how to convert data type. Go ahead and explore other ways of converting data types. And if you have any questions about that, please feel free to drop your questions in the comment section, and they'll be answered as soon as the questions are sent. Remember to like this video, share if you don't mind, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel in case you're yet to do so. Thank you very much for watching. In the next video, we'll begin talking about our advanced visualization. At least we've done some little cleaning. Now we can begin to visualize our data. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.